Oh, cold. It's 30 minutes after the hour. Please welcome to the Imus morning program the great Rosanne Cash.
What's the temperature, darling? 100 or more. The horse is pawing at the dust, violets wilting by the door. But you pour your strongest coffee, and I'll take the battered wheel. Drive straight down the river road, spread a blanket on the hill. What's the temperature, darling? Oh, don't stare into the past. There was nothing we could change or fix. It was never gonna last. Now don't stare into those photos. Don't analyze my eyes. We're just a mile or two from Memphis and the rhythm of our lives. A mile or two from Memphis, I must go away. I tore up all the highways, there's nothing left to say. A mile or two from Memphis, and I finally made it home. There were days you paced the kitchen. There were nights that felt like jail. When the phone rang in the dead of night, you would always throw my bail. I know you never touched the whiskey, and you never took the pills. I traveled for 8,000,000 miles while you were standing still. What's the temperature, darling, as the daylight fades away? I'll make one last rehearsal with one foot in the grave. We kept the house on old Nokomis. We kept the polished bass guitar. We kept the tickets and the reels of tape to remember who we are. A mile or two from Memphis, I must go away. I tore up all the highways, there's nothing left to say. A mile or two from Memphis, and I finally made it home. What's the temperature, darling?
Rosanne Cash here. Yeah, so we bring out from her new album called The River and the Thread. I bet I listened to it about 10 times. And there's not a bad song on it. In fact, they're all good. A boy does not a feather, something like that.
Yeah.
She'll sing that too. We're going to talk to him in a second. It is 20 minutes to the hour here on the Imus morning program. I saw an interview in the New York Times with the guy was talking to Ken Tucker, I think the dude's name was, talking to Rosanne Cash and John Leventhal. It was so interesting. I thought, well, why don't I talk to him? So please welcome to the program, Rosanne Cash and John Leventhal. How are you
Thanks for
guys?
having us.
Hey, Don.
So you were born in Memphis.
I was.
And then where were you raised?
Southern California.
Whereabouts?
In Ventura,
Oh.
just north of Los Angeles.
And then, and how long have you lived in New York?
23 years.
So where do you feel like you're from?
Heaven. No, it's funny. I feel a mixture of Southern California and New Yorker.
Oh.
you know, it's you carry all kinds of homes within yourself, and I think I carry a lot of Southern home in myself.
Because this album, which is terrific,
Thank you.
three of the songs, I believe, mention Memphis.
Yeah, and Memphis kept showing up. That was a little bit unconscious. I kept getting drawn back to Memphis. I mean, for obvious reasons, I guess. I mean, not just that I was born there, but that the musical stew I was born into in the Delta.
It's a musical vortex that we keep getting pulled back to.
It's true.
Because so much incredible stuff has come from there.
I was talking to Roseanne, John. Excuse me.
All right, how do I take the mic off?
I'm just kidding. How did you two meet?
My ex-husband introduced us.
I produced her ex-husband.
Rodney Crowell?
Classic, yeah.
He was just here with Emmylou Harris.
We're still very good friends. In fact, we wrote a song with him on
Modern
the album.
Family, that's right. Rodney and I wrote a song to pitch to Emmy, because Rodney was doing that album with Emmy.
Yeah.
And apparently Emmy didn't care for it. And then Roseanne sort of tweaked with the lyrics and made it a whole lot better.
I asked Rodney if he wanted to rewrite the lyrics as a Civil War ballad, and we did. And, you know, in that great tradition of Appalachian history ballads.
Yeah, he was, in my mind, he always was most noted for appearing in one of Delbert McClinton's videos. But
he did a couple things other than that.
yeah, I understand that. But he's I never realized he was so great. Not that I'm the arbiter of who's great or not, but
Yeah, he's great.
It's a great writer.
Great
yeah.
writer.
Yeah.
And apparently a fairly nice guy, I guess, huh? Or whatever. So
He's a nice guy.
he's your husband-in-law now?
My husband-in-law.
Ken Tucker, this guy did the interview at times, he asked you a wonderful question, and that was being Johnny Cash's son-in-law. How was that?
Well, you know, it's funny. They never ask the son-in-laws
Sure.
anything. Yeah, they bypass us. You know, I how much time do we have? I mean, you know,
Much as
it's
you
great.
want.
I mean, I told Ken that, you know, I have the deepest respect for John as an artist, and he was a great, you know, he and I were great. It was great. You know, it's the Johnny Cash legacy can be a bit of a burden when, you know, people project some pretty crazy stuff onto him. So when that comes into our life, can be more of a burden than a gift. So
Ultimately, more of a gift than a burden,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Well, but then, I mean, I always think of that when you hear the sons or daughters of great artists.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Bob,
complicated.
yeah, like Bob Dylan's son or
Sure.
others. But you did put up 11 or whatever #1 records.
I did.
So that.
I've been doing this a long time,
Yeah.
35 years.
So now this this brain operation you have, tell me about that.
Well, you know about confronting a serious illness. It kind of, you get a good hard look at your mortality. It
Makes your knees wobble.
makes your knees wobble and focuses your attention on the things you really want to do with your life. I had brain surgery in 2007, and I feel great. I'm doing really good. I feel lucky.
These problems with your voice. Who'd you go to, by the way?
To rebuild my voice, a few voice therapists in the city. Do you need names?
Oh no, I go to Gwen Corrivan. Who,
I know Gwen. I've gone to Gwen for years.
Yeah, I love her.
And Shirley
She saved my
Tennyson-
voice for me. She sent me to Dr. Peekaboo Wu, who is the single greatest.
in Boston.
No, here in New York.
Here in
He's
New
the-
York, right?
He's a single. He worked on my dear friend Levon Helm's voice and
Yeah.
other folks. So he scraped my vocal cords a couple times.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, and I couldn't. But man, it's great. So I didn't mean to make this. Well, I did mean to make it about me, but I don't want to make it.
It's all about you, man.
But anyway, so is she the only one you dealt with, or?
No, I had vocal therapists, Shirley Tennyson, Neil Harrison, Bill Riley. I had a few vocal therapists. You know, once your voice is gone, you have to rebuild it from scratch.
I mean, I think it came back better than it was before.
It's so
college
clear
left.
now.
Yeah.
Not that it never was, but
Yeah, it's interesting. It was gone, and then I guess the way we rebuilt it improved it.
Yeah, you're definitely singing better now than you ever have, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
what did you do? You sound like you're in trouble there and trying to get like I do.
Boy, that is a subtle read on that line.
Yeah, that's good. You know, there was
yeah.
a time in rebuilding I was on steroids and vocal rest at the same time.
Wow.
Right.
That I almost went out of my mind.
was
That
telling-
was tough for him.
My wife and I were talking about it last night, and she's coming up in about an hour. And I said, yeah, she couldn't talk for a long time. And Deirdre said, well, John must have liked that. I said, yeah, and so would I. And that was the wrong
Yeah,
thing
it was the
to say.
combination with the steroids. It was a mixed blessing.
So I was looking at your 5 favorite songs, at least the 5 you gave us, currently 5 favorites.
5 in the top 100, let's say.
Yeah. And so I decided to, there are a couple of, Ode to Billy Joe, Bobby Gentry,
Sure.
Poncho and Lefty, the Townes Van Zandt
Yep.
song. And, of course, Highway 61, which you probably traveled on from.
We
Yeah, it's
did.
part of the inspiration.
Part of the
album.
inspiration for the whole album was our trip down Highway 61, starting in Memphis, ending up in New Orleans.
Now, Highway 61 runs from Memphis to Wyoming, Minnesota, in case
Right.
you guys want to go somewhere.
Right, actually from New Orleans to up northern Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I just say that or no?
You said Memphis to Minnesota.
You ever been to Graceland, either one of you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
many
early-
years ago.
In the first
it was
year
one
of
of
our
our first
relationship.
dates,
yeah,
Don.
we went to Graceland. Yeah.
Rob and I went there, and Bernard on the Graceland show, and but they don't have a sense of humor there, because I said to the dude, "Want to see the fat suits?" Because you know they display windows for all the suits. I didn't have the fat ones, so and then I wanted to say, well, whatever. So, speaking of Memphis, Marshall Grant, tell me about him, because that song Edison.
Well, he was my dad's original bass player in the Tennessee Two,
Yeah.
and I was very close to him. And in the last few years of his life, he would call me every couple of months to go over his memories of his time on the road with my dad. And he was somewhat tortured by them. He couldn't reconcile a lot of those memories.
Really?
Yeah, particularly he thought he should have been able to fix my dad's drug addiction, and he never could. I mean, who can? But he just went over and over. It was very moving. And then he died in 2011. He was married to Etta for 65 years, which is, I think, a record for a touring musician's marriage.
Record for Homo sapien.
Yeah, and she said to me that every morning of their lives they woke up and said, "What's the temperature, darling?" And John said, "That's the first line of a
Yeah, I
song."
love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Back to these songs of yours, Ode to Billy Joe. So I printed out the lyrics last night. And
It's heavy.
And my son is 15, and my wife is 50 or whatever she is. And so I tried to get him interested in, the song.
Yeah.
Get him to read the lyrics and then try to decide what they threw off the bridge. But they wouldn't do it. I couldn't get them interested. But why do you like it?
Why do I like it? It's cinematic, and
Oh.
it's, you can see the whole thing unfolding at the table. And the story is so compelling that she leaves it a mystery at the end. What did they throw off the bridge? Everybody's got a theory about that.
What's yours?
It was a baby.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
But I think what we love about it is how indirect it is,
Yeah.
but it really pulls you into that world, You should tell them the Bill Clinton story.
Yeah, I performed it at Carnegie Hall at a benefit, and President Clinton was in the audience. And during the intermission, he summoned me. He wanted to talk about the song. He spoke for 20 minutes about that song. He had developed a theory about it and about what he called the shame in the South. And he also thought it was a baby. And I thought, you have room in your brain to formulate a theory about this song. It was fascinating.
It's a great song, great record too.
Yeah.
Great, perfect song and a perfect record.
Thank you both very much for. I can't tell you what a treat it is for us.
Thank you, Don.
We
only have-
love playing her, man.
We only have people on the program who we want to have on, as opposed to
Thank you, Don.
Thank you very much, sir. The album is called The River and the Thread, and you can buy it this morning at Amazon. Or I buy everything at iTunes. It's a pretty easy way to do it. Do the one-click deal. They're going to sing more coming up. Please welcome now to the Imus Morning program, Rosanne Cash.
Going down to Florence, gonna wear a pretty dress. I sit atop the magic wall with the voices in my watch the gumbo song. A feather's not a bird, the rain is not the sea, a stone is not a mountain, but a river runs through me. There's never any highway when you're looking for the past. The land becomes a memory and it happens way too fast. Yeah, the money's all in Nashville, the lights inside my head. So I'm going down to Florence just to learn to love the thread. A feather's not a bird, the rain is not the sea, a stone is not a mountain, but a river runs through. Burned up 7 lives and I used up all my charms. I took the long way home just to end up in your arms. That's why I'm going down to Florence now. I got my pretty dress. Going down to Florence, got a pretty dress. I'm gonna let the magic wall put the voices in my head. Feathers not a bird, the rain is not the sea, the stone is not a mountain, but a river runs through me. Feathers not a bird, the rain is not the sea, the stone is not a mountain. Feathers not a bird, the rain is not the sea, the stone is not a mountain, but a river runs through me.
Oh man, I love that song. So now you spend the rest of your day trying to get that song out of your head. So go to iTunes and buy it this morning, The River and the Thread. Damn, a river runs through me. The Blondes are next, 30 morning program. So you guys go on tour when?
We're on it. You're the first stop.
Oh, I am. Oh, man. And so do you stay out on the road or does it?
No, we come in and out because we have a 14-year-old at home, so I don't like to stay gone too long.
Does he like your songs?
He's playing it close to the vest. He says he does.
Uncommitted.
Yeah. So this Sunken Lands, what's this about?
Well, the hero of this song is my grandmother, Carrie Cash, who raised 7 children and worked on a cotton farm in a cottage that was supplied by in the New Deal by FDR.
Right.
She said when she moved in, there were 5 cans of paint sitting in the front hall. And it was in an area of Arkansas called the Sunken Lands.
Five cans of paint in the empty fields, and the dust reveals, and the children cry, the work never ends, there's not a single friend. There's 5 empty cans.
Rosanne Cash from the River and the Thread. They'll be back in a couple of minutes. Say some more, 22 till the hour. You know Hayes Carl?
I know his work, yeah.
Man, you should get together with him. I'd do. Do you know him, John?
I don't.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant guy.
he is brilliant.
He wrote the greatest country song ever written. She Left Me for Jesus. You ever heard that?
No.
Yeah,
I like it though. That's good.
Yeah, she left me for Jesus. What's this? But she left me for Jesus, and if I ever find Jesus, I'm gonna kick his ass. That's right. That's the one. Anyway, once again from the River and the Thread, Rosanne Cash.
The streets of Paris in the pouring rain. I flew across an island in the northern sea, and I ended up in Memphis, Tennessee. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you. It's a big wide world with a million shades of modern blue. Everybody around here moves too fast. Oh, it feels so good, but it's never gonna last. Everything I have is twice what I knew, but I don't have nothing if I don't have you. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you. It's a big wide world with a million shades of modern blue. Will you still be there when I round the curve? Will you hold my hand when I lose my nerve? Oh, it's a Barcelona and my mind got changed. So I'm heading back to Memphis on the midnight train. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you. It's a big wide world. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you. I keep my head down, I keep my eyes on you. It's a big wide world with a million shades of modern blue.
Rosanne Cash. You know what I've always wondered? Is there a train that goes to Memphis that leaves at any other time than midnight?
Is not a soulful train.
No, I mean, taking a train at 10 o'clock in the morning to Memphis, they go, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, right.
We've been dating